Have you ever wondered if Warren Buffett's simple wealth strategy could actually work for regular people like us? Today, we're testing his single, timeless principle, the one rule 99% of investors ignore, and seeing how it applies to your real life, your income, and your financial future. Welcome to I Date Money. I'm your host, Lisa Drennon, where divorced mompreneurs learn how to rewrite their money story, calm the chaos, and build financial stability one confident decision at a time. If you're ready to create a spending system that pays you every month, join the 7-day conscious spending challenge for free in the Smell of Money community, where you'll get a step-by-step coaching and support to uncover a minimum of $500 a month in your budget in just 7 days. Visit idatemoney.com/smellthemoney. The link is in the description to join today. I used to believe you needed thousands of dollars to start investing. It felt out of reach, like the stock market belonged to the rich or to people with finance degrees. Then I learned that Warren Buffett started building his empire with just $100. When I realized his success came not from timing the market, but from time in the market, it changed everything. It goes back to that turtle and hare race that I always mention. Consistent automation in your savings builds your investment portfolio. So most of us weren't taught how to handle money, especially after divorce, when every dollar feels like proof of survival. Being a single mom takes its toll on us financially. We're doing everything ourselves. Debt, bills, and uncertainty become constant noise. Buffett's strategy cuts through that noise with one word: patience. He doesn't chase the next best thing. He doesn't panic when prices drop. He invests in what he understands, and he lets time do the heavy lifting. And this is so important. Thank you so much for those who filled out my survey. A lot of you had said that the most challenging thing for you to do was saving money. Brain gets in the way of savings, and we can actually automate this. No spreadsheets, no guilt involved. And that's where we're going to start today, with clarity, not chaos. You don't need to be a financial genius. You just need a simple, repeatable system, just like we do in our business. And this is exactly what I needed in my business, so I know we need it in our financial system. It's the same way Buffett built his fortune over decades, as so many others did as well. Think about it. If consistency beats perfection, what would happen if you invested a little every month, no matter what? In my last episode, I talked about saving a minimum of $5 a day. Remember last year we did the penny a day challenge? You can save over $600 with that 1 penny a day. It's all about putting the priorities in order. So Buffett's first principle is long-term thinking. He says his favorite holding period is forever. Instead of predicting the future, he chooses great companies and holds them. Why? Because wealth grows quietly, not instantly. Think of a plant growing in the ground. You plant the seed, it takes forever before you see that tiny little leaf pop up out of the soil. But meanwhile, it has grown strong roots. For you, that could mean opening a simple investment account, putting in $100, and committing to let it grow. No panic selling, no gambling, just steady, patient growth. If you're in the US, I highly recommend a Roth IRA to do this. Automate it every week, 2 weeks, whatever works for you, but get to the point where you're maxing it out. The second thing is the power of value investing. Buffett looks for companies that are undervalued but solid. Brands people trust, products people keep buying. The everyday version of that is understanding value versus price. Don't just chase what's hot. Ask, does this create long-term value for me and my family? That same mindset works for your household budget. Value is keeping the things that serve you long-term and cutting what drains you. Looking at that budget, every month we're training our brain to date money, to sit down at the end of the month and project what our expenses are going to be for the following month. And then throughout that month, we're looking at our expenses. We're looking at the income that's coming in and we're making adjustments. But we're always implementing the money multiplier system first. And when we follow that method, we're always going to be multiplying our money. And if you can't start off with the recommended percentages, start off at 1% and build your way up every single week. Increase that percentage until you get comfortable, until your brain rewires itself. The third thing is the moat concept. Buffett invests in businesses with moats, strong brands, patents, or systems that competitors can't easily copy. Your personal moat is your system. When you know exactly where your money goes each month, you protect yourself from chaos, debt, and emotional spending. That's why I teach a simple structure inside I Date Money. Every dollar gets a job. When your money has a purpose, you stop feeling guilty about spending and start feeling powerful about planning. In last week's episode, we talked about the psychology of money around the holidays when our family seems to be pressuring us to spend. And our body is saying, no, save, save, save. And there's this tug of war going on. It's real. And if you want to feel in control, if you want to feel that financial freedom, this is the way to tell your money where to go. Every dollar has a job and it's working for you in the exact way that you desire so that you build the life that you dream without any regret. When I first implemented this, it was literally like I was floating on a cloud. I remembered when I had set aside money to go to this fancy dinner and I was traveling for work and they had this beautiful restaurant at the hotel and I was like, I want to eat there. And I thought, well, I don't want to go in there by myself. I was like, you know what? Why not? So I grabbed a book, went and got a table. I had this nice big table to myself, ordered the fanciest food, lobster, shrimp, a nice glass of wine, sat there and enjoyed myself and had absolutely no guilt. And I thought, yeah, I deserve this. This is a feeling of financial freedom. This is what true wealth is all about. Setting that money aside, knowing that it's allocated for a specific purpose, and then enjoying that specific purpose. It's like you're paying your future self. This is what we save for. When we're saving, we're actually spending money on our future self. The fourth strategy is called the circle of confidence. Buffett only invests in what he understands. That's a huge lesson for us. You don't need to chase crypto or guess the next trend. You just need to know your lane. Understand your spending, your goals, and your comfort level. Stay in that circle until you master it. One investment at a time. I like to suggest, now I'm not a financial planner, but I've done very well with my portfolio. And what I like to do, based on following Warren Buffett for all these years, is to look at the top 5 things in stocks, mutual funds, bonds, and see what the trends are. And then I like to look at the history for the last 15 to 25 years and see how that stock or that bond or that mutual fund has performed. And then I look at, is this a company that I want to invest in? Do I invest in it? And that's one of the best ways to decide on your comfort level. The general rule of thumb is you take your age minus 100, and the difference is how much you should be at risk. So if you're 50 years old, from 100, 50% of your money should be in stock. If you're not comfortable doing 50% all stock, then start off and build up towards it. But I'm telling you, I wasn't comfortable. I'm a very conservative investor, and I actually left it at 50%, even though I'm almost 58 years old. I left my investment percentages at 50% stock because I am knocking it out of the park with an 18% ROI right now. So the market has been doing really well for me with the different stocks, but you want to have that balance. And if you're more on the conservative side, definitely want to consider the percentages. And then the remaining 50% can get split between the secured bonds versus the mutual funds. You want to take a look at that. And that's where a financial advisor can help you. The fifth strategy is the real secret. So what's Buffett's single strategy for building wealth? It's not timing the market. It's time in the market. Simple, consistent investing over years. That's how $100 grows into financial freedom. It's stability. It's the turtle wins the race strategy. So ask yourself, how can I invest $100 and turn that $100 into a monthly investment? There are so many different strategies for building wealth, and getting into a strategy where you feel secure, where you're ready to build stability and you have clarity and confidence with your money. This is the end goal, naming that money bucket so that, if it's an investment account, maybe it's a Roth IRA, maybe it's a 401k or a 403. These are your retirement accounts, in the strategy, tax-free. How do you want to build that portfolio? It all begins with having a conscious spending plan. This is why the 7-day conscious spending challenge is so important to begin now. What does your future look like when you can look at your money and know that you have future funds set aside for retirement, travel, remodeling your home, getting a new car, and it's all paid for with cash, with money that you've invested and saved that's earned interest, compound interest, that's helped that money grow? This brings true financial freedom. It's not about willpower. It's not about being better with money. It's about consistently setting aside money for savings and investment. So join the 7-day conscious spending challenge for free in the smell of money. Get the link at idatemoney.com, smell of money. The link is in the description. And start this challenge today so that your future self can experience true financial freedom. And you will too, just because you're consciously aware of where your money is going. Because remember, it doesn't matter how much money you have, it's what you do with it.